The weekend, it's almost here. We're racing in Hong Kong, but not at Sha Tin this Sunday. We're at Happy Valley for the annual day meeting, and welcome to Racing to Win. We've got a big show coming up. Special guest is going to join us shortly. Big name back at the trials. We'll look at him soon too. Big names in the studio, Paul Lally and Nick Child. And Nick, what's coming up Sunday?
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, I said nobody ever, but yeah, look, it's a good card. This always enjoyable going to Happy Valley in the day. Race 9, I thought was a really good-looking race, competitive one as well. We've got Brittany Wong riding at the Valley for the first time. We
do indeed. So Brittany's ridden plenty of trials around there, but first race day rides. And are there jackpots, Paul Lally?
Yeah, there's some good jackpots there. 2 million going into the 6-up win bonus, and the first and second double trios, 200,000 going into each of those two. So should be plenty of money floating around for the day meeting. And look, the races look good. There's plenty of last start winners there as well.
There is. But before we get to Happy Valley and our guest, here is the trials this morning at Sha Tin. It was trial number 1. Romantic Warrior is in this trial. We've also got Galaxy Patch, Taj Dragon on the inside. Moments in Time leads them up. Patch of Theta. Whiters in Shoed, and in the centre is Cheng Cheng Glory and Light Years Charms on the inside, Nick. But the focus, of course, is Romantic Warrior, and he was very good.
He was, yeah. Look, naturally. I mean, he's a real marvellous horse, isn't he? And obviously, this was I think his 3rd trial back now. So he's really sort of getting towards peak fitness. Not that he probably will be or needs to be peak fitness for his first run back, but obviously the big target being that in December. But he just is a horse, Paul, who obviously does everything he's asked, and obviously on race form we know how good he is, and he looks to have been trialling really nicely in his last couple.
Yeah, look, he's always up for the trials, isn't he? He's a very competitive horse. He loves the competitive nature, and you can see him going easily here, and he's just going really well at the moment. So that's a really good sign moving forward into sort of the jockey trials and then into December.
Galaxy Patch, Paul, they were positive on him this morning, rode him forward, but just held his spot late in the centre there. He's
been disappointing, hasn't he, you'd have to say. Yeah, I'd like to see him do it out on the track now, but yeah, he doesn't look like the same horse of 18 months ago.
Yeah, you'd hope he could crack that big one, but he's always been that nearly horse.
He has, absolutely. But one horse is not a nearly horse, of course, is Romantic Warrior, and Nick was able to get some post-trial reaction from his jockey, Hugh Bowman.
He does look well. His coat's come through since he had his first outing at Happy Valley about a month ago, and no, he's ticking over nicely.
We haven't seen him under race conditions since Maidan, of course. He's had 1 or 2 little niggly setbacks, but in those 3 trials that he's completed so far, he seems to have passed all the tests, hasn't he?
Yeah, sure. He feels fantastic. He's in a great mood. He loves his job, and I don't work with him very much, but obviously someone needs to trial him, and I help out where I can. But he's a very sensible horse. His record says everything really, but no, he's come back in good form, good condition. He feels fantastic. His first 2 trials, I really sort of managed his energy a fair bit, but I let him. Although it was only 1,200 metres, I let him sort of use himself this morning without putting any pressure on him, and yeah, you can see for yourself he went to the line pretty well and he felt good.
An ominous warning from Hugh Bowman there on Romantic Warrior. 23rd of November you'll see him and the other big boppers running in the traditional trial day for HKIR. But Happy Valley Sunday, here's the details for that unique setting right there. A day meeting, 12:45 the first. We do have a Japanese simulcast, so thus an earlier start time, and racing takes place on the C course with a 10-race program. And our special guest is going to join us right now, and he's heavily featured at the meeting on Sunday.
On the Road a New Page, I Can. Out wider on the track is Outgate. Road a New Page getting to Highland Ray. He got there.
Tomodachi Kokoro, one last lunge, and he wins again. The Cairns flyer, Tomodachi Kokoro, is now a Premier Bowl winner. And the man that has turned him into an unbeatable force joins us right now. Our special guest, Harry Bentley. Welcome to Racing to Win. Before we talk about Tomodachi Kokoro, the season so far, you happy with how it's been going?
Yeah, hi Mark. Very happy with how it started actually. Had a few really nice winners in there and some progressive horses as well. So I'd have to say I'm happy with the way the season started and looking forward to what's coming.
Outside of Tomodachi, who have been some of your main victories, which have really meant a bit to you, being progressive and higher grade races too?
Yeah, that's right. Likes of Lowrider was great to win on. He was a horse that I sat on at the end of last season and liked him, and always thought that he was a capable type, and it was great to get a winner on him at Happy Valley. And then Mark win as well. I was fortunate to pick up the ride on the day. I mean, I had previous form on the horse last season, but it was great to partner up with him and win early on in the season, a nice class too. So, yeah, those are a couple of horses which have been great, and we can't not mention Tomodachi, who's been a model of consistency and just a horse that's incredibly on the up.
No doubt you were hopeful he could do what he's done. Did you think that he would go on and win 3 in a row, including Group 2, and beat a really talented field last weekend?
I'd be lying if I said I expected him to do what he's done at the beginning of the season. And I think anyone would probably have been in the same camp. But I wasn't surprised he won first time. I think he was going into that race extremely well, very fit, and trialling in great form. So it wasn't a surprise to me to see him win that first time. And then to back it up from a wide draw, having quite a tough trip going wide, was a gallant performance. And so then I have to say, going into the Group 2, I did go in with quite a lot of confidence. A horse that, it's his ideal trip, carrying 115 and in the form of his life. I had to be confident going into the race, but I didn't think he would win in quite that fashion.
And the times he's been running, Harry, the second fastest 1200 metre ever in Hong Kong, beaten only by Ka-Ying Rising. Do you dare to dream you might be able to push him when you get up against him in Group 1?
Well, why not? I mean, you can't argue with the clock. It was a fantastic time that he's clocked, albeit with a lightweight on his back, but the horse can run serious time. And of course, Ka-Ying Rising is a tremendous horse. I mean, best in the world, and a real force to be reckoned with. So you'd be mad to think that he's not going to be an extremely hard competitor, and of course the horse to beat. But my guy is Tomodachi. He's in the form of his life, and you've got to dream, haven't you? Horse racing is an unpredictable sport. Anything can happen, and yeah, why not?
Absolutely. He's done such a great job from where he came from, far north Queensland, and here he is heading towards the Group 1 days. Before we get there, Harry, you're heading to Happy Valley on Sunday. Is there any difference riding the Valley at a day meeting to there is at the night meeting on a Wednesday night, say?
I would say as far as tactically, it's exactly the same. But for us jockeys, we ride this track every single week for 10 months of the year. So we're obviously very used to it, and we're used to it under the lights. So it's certainly a slightly different feeling place to be there in the day, but I don't think the track rides any differently.
Tactically, Happy Valley, how tricky is it to ride compared to the other tracks you've ridden in, and especially when the rail gets out wide on that last bend?
Yeah, it's extremely tactical, and it's a place that I don't think you ever truly master. I think there's a lot of nuances, and the fact that the rail position moves out week on week almost makes it ride like a totally different track. And you have to be aware of how the rail position alters the way the track rides. So it's an amazing circuit in an amazing location. I like it. Sometimes I come away in an evening thinking I hate it because of how the evening might have gone, but you can't deny it's a cracking track, and yeah, great to be a part of.
We've got a great shot behind the boys who are about to come in, Harry, and talk about your rides on Sunday at Happy Valley. We've got Nick and Paul here to talk you through.
Yeah, the first one is a horse you haven't actually ridden before, which is Dan Attack, coming up early in the card. He's in good form at the moment. How'd you go aboard getting this ride?
That was just a matter of actually picking him up at entry time. I thought he ran a good race last time from an awkward draw. Andrea got him into a nice position, and he finished up really well. So he's a horse in good form. draw. I think 8 is going to be slightly tricky, but he's a horse that seems to be able to get himself into the right sort of position. So if we can slot in, I think he's going to run a big race.
And Harry, hot on the foot of that, you're riding Smiling Emperor for Jimmy Ting. You team up a bit with Jimmy. This horse gets his conditions. He is a course and distance winner, though not in this grade. What on his comeback, and what about his chance on the weekend?
Yeah, I thought his comeback run was good. He's a horse that really isn't that easy to win with, actually. He needs to just get there at the right time. Everything needs to be very smooth. If he gets to the front, or he gets in front with too much time to think about the situation, then he's probably not the most willing at times, but he certainly has the ability. He's going well, and with the right trip, he can run a good race.
I thought one of your better rides is coming up in race 4, Harry, with the Healthy. You've drawn barrier 1 with him, a well-rated horse. Now, you've ridden the last 2 starts over 1,200, but he's got a good record over 1,000. Does he feel like a 1,000-metre horse?
Well, he's got so much speed. He's been running really, really well, this horse, and down in grade is going to help him. He's a big horse, so he can shoulder the weight, and he's really knocking on the door, I feel. He's run some great races over the 1,200 metres at Shartin, but he definitely has the speed in my mind for 1,000 at Happy Valley. So with a nice draw, we should get a nice pitch during the race. And I think he's a horse that's coming in with superb form, and he's going to be thereabouts for sure.
Another horse that's doing that, Harry, and I hope you'll agree with me that I think throughout the course of the day, your rides certainly look like they're going to be winning chances. Firefoot is one of them. You rode him last time at Shartin. He went down by the narrowest of margins, but he has got form here, winning form, and he's off a good mark.
Yeah, he is, Nick. Last run was great. It was one of those races I felt like I had a nice time in front, and once Simple Hedge came to me, it was a bit of a ding-dong battle to the line, and I felt like he fought it out. So, he's coming into the race with good form, and as you mentioned there, he goes well at Happy Valley, and he's a horse that I'll certainly be riding positively, and I think off his current mark, he's certainly competitive.
And Harry, just finally, Romantic Sun. Where do you see him at? Stablemate, of course, Tomodachi. Here's some recent track work you rode him in. He's off a similar rating to what he has one off in the past also.
Yeah, you're right. He was off a rating of, I think, 66 when I won on him, and he's at 65 now. So he is actually working really well in the mornings. He's given me a great feel. His last run, he had an awkward gait, and I had to ride him quietly, and we certainly didn't have all the luck in running, but he went through the line really well. So I think with a nice trip, this horse is certainly capable of running a big race, if not winning, and hopefully everything goes smoothly. But I like the form he's bringing into the race, and that rating is obviously something of a positive.
You sound pretty confident about him. Is he your best ride? Because there are some nice rides throughout the day.
He's definitely one of them. I would probably say Healthy would be my best ride, I think, on the night, but Romantic Sun would be a close second.
When do we see Tomodachi Kokoro run next?
Quite possibly next month. There's that Group 2 Jockey Club Sprint, which he quite likely go for. And obviously looking forward to partnering up with him again. And then obviously if he doesn't go there, then you've got the following month, Group 1 to go for. So exciting times. Nice to have a horse like that to go to war with.
Absolutely. Harry, great to get your insights on both Tomodachi and Happy Valley on Sunday. All the best at the City Circuit. Thanks for joining us.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Big thanks again to Harry Bentley. We move on here on Racing to Win. The focus is some form for Happy Valley on Sunday. That's coming up right after this break. This is a Racing to Win for Happy Valley on Sunday. The break's just been on, and it might be a different track, but it doesn't mean we haven't got a last run reminder, Paul, and it's a horse with a very interesting name.
Yeah, Brown Needs Further. By Needs Further. There you go. That's how he got his name. But race number five. He drew the inside here, as you can see. He got crossed, so he ended up sort of 3 back on the inside. They didn't. They went reasonably quick early, but then they sort of steadied it in the middle stages. You can see him running a really nice race just in behind. This is Volcanis that wins the race, and of course he came out and won on Wednesday night, so quite timely there. And he bet just about he ran into second. So a really good run from Browns Needs Further, and from a low draw, I think he'll get his chance once again.
Race 5, number 5, the last run reminder. OK, strap in. 2 races are coming quick fire. We start with race 9, class 2. We have Self-Improvement back from Korea. Kaholo Angel has the visor going on. Colourful King steps up in trip. Red Elegance and Superb Capitalist also go up from the 1,000. Telecom Fighters having a run over the 1,200. Youthful Spirit's a last start winner, and Packing Bowl draws nicely down on the inside, Paul, in a race that has an absolute ton of speed.
Yeah, it does. Look, I reckon this is going to be one of the fastest races we'll see. Youthful Spirits, Packing Bowl with Brittany Wong having her first ride. Superb Capitalist goes forward. Red Elegance up to can go forward. Gustissimo, Aurora Lady. It's going to be run at some sort of pace.
Seacourse, Nick, this week, and the barrier stats back from 2023-24 season on the both C and C+3 course shows inside gates have a bit of an advantage. Barrier 6 also tends to go all right.
It does, yeah, with a 16% strike rate there. I mean, look, what that demonstrates is obviously that they can win from gates 1 down to 12, but obviously the percentage play, certainly those towards the inside, given how many winners have been achieved from down there.
Master of My Universe draws 2 Youthful Spirits in 6. David Eustace has Colourful King, and he spoke to Nick about his horse's chance.
David Eustace, Colourful King is your runner lining up in the Class 2 over 1,200 metres. Lovely return to action last time.
Yeah, he ran great from the back, and the winner put in an excellent performance with a low weight, so couldn't have been happier with him really.
Yeah, I think that's certainly merited for sure. Obviously, it was a very good run from Youthful Spirits. You'd be keen enough though to have a go at him again, though, won't you, on revised terms?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think the step up in trip will suit us. Probably a bit, potentially a bit more than him, but there'll be others in the race, of course, but. At least we know with him in it and a couple of others that there'll be a strong tempo, which I think will help Colourful King.
We'll find out if he makes the boys' selections shortly. Paul, moving on to sand form for Self-Improvement. Is this a sort of good lead-up race on the sand for the Korea Sprint to Happy Valley on Sunday?
No. The last 2 seasons he's run 9th, 4th and 11th in his 4 turf starts. In between that, he's had 4 wins on the surface of the all-weather. For me, he's an all-weather horse, so happy to wait till he gets back on the surface.
Yeah, it certainly looks that way, that's for sure. But one thing I will say, credit where credit's due, this was probably one of the best bits of placing we're going to see from any trainer this season to win that prize, so well done to Manfred for that.
Absolutely. Thumbs down to whoever came up with that drone shot too. A Master of My Universe, Nick. Here he is running 7th over the 1,200 last time. This is at Sha Tin, obviously. Switches across. He's run 2 seconds. He's only 2 starts at the Valley.
Yeah, look, you haven't got to have the longest memory to actually, remember those races. And he actually ran with plenty of credit, of course. And in subsequent runs, he's run at Sha Tin. So he hasn't been back to Happy Valley. As you say, he's run 2 nice seconds there. I'd give him a chance in this from a good draw. Purton's on, and he's got a good record on him.
Yeah, he was only beaten ahead in one of those as well, and was unlucky not to win. So, look, I don't think the course holds any fares for him.
Selections, Paul.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Colourful King on top. I think he's got the race run to suit. Master of My Universe second. Rural Lady was a good run last time, and Superb Capitalist has been an honest horse recently. 3-5-8-7.
Yeah, nice race this, and certainly good quality all the way through. Look, I'm also going with Colourful King here on top. Master of My Universe for second, I think, can run well. Superb Capitalist in form, and Aurora Lady, not the worst last start. 3-5-7-8.
And now, on to race number 10, straight into this one. This over the 1650 for the Class 3s, and we have Dragon Air Force on the turf at the top of the book. Keen Molly wears a visor for the first time. Viva Graciousness looking for 3 in a row. King Lotus up in trip from the 12 to the 1650. Family Night, the hood off, the cheek pieces go on. Mighty Steed is a last start winner. Starmac Draws nicely in barrier number 2. Here is the speed map. Paul, another Zonda with the senior rider back on board.
Yeah, I think he'll come across. They went too quick on him last start. Keen Molly and Viva Graciousness have both drawn wide. I think they'll come and try and get behind him. King Lotus should get every opportunity. Nezza's up and trip. Mighty Steed, he just might get shoved a bit wide there.
That's the speed map. Nick, here's the barrier stats for the 1650. And again, a bit like the 1200 metre race, there's a couple of advantageous draws, 2 and 5.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, look, the percentages there, obviously 17% for gate number 2, 15 for gate 5. Gate 9 doesn't go too badly. That's the best of the widest barriers there. But you can see it does just taper off a little bit when you get a bit wider out.
We're focusing barrier number 1. Lyle Hewitson talking to Nick Reed, King Lotus.
Well, Hewitson, you're running King Lotus again at Happy Valley, a horse who's been holding his form really well. He's going up in trip this time, though. Yeah,
well, we've thought from day one this is more what he's looking for. I can't say he surprised us, but in a way he did, that he was so good over the 1200 metres. So if we are right, he should show improvement stepping up. And I'm very happy to see that he's drawn in 1 as well. You know, normally when you go from a 12 to a mile, it's just a bit tougher doing it for the first time. So any little advantages is going to help, and just knowing that we're going to be in a sweet spot from there should give him more opportunity to run a good race.
Given what you've just said, obviously, that there will be people looking at it on paper and seeing he's only run past 1200 metres, he was well held over 14, but are we putting that down perhaps to immaturity? I mean, he's still very likely race, isn't he?
Yeah, there were a few things. That day was his first run at Charlton. He was drawn wide. I took him right back to last, and he actually just got lost, and I don't want to say he showed no interest, but he sort of just flopped around. So we've seen at Happy Valley, even if he comes from off them, at least he's got his mind on the job, and he's obviously comfortable around there. And I have no doubt that later on he will be fine at Charlton as well. So put a line through that 1400 metre run. I think it is what he's looking for, and I expect him to run well.
King Lotus, the horse, Lyle Hewitson, the jockey. And Nick, here is Viva Graciousness winning last time, and he's been just winning. Can it continue this week, though?
It would be folly to say it couldn't, because, as you say, he's been in very good form, 2 from 2 this season, so he doesn't know what defeat tastes like this campaign. Keen Molly, I think, is a horse that you can give a strong case for here, Paul. Second go at the trip, first time was a good one.
Yeah, and he went wide on the bend. They went really quick, and he was part of that quick first sectional. I wouldn't give up on another Zonda either, because they went super quick in that first bend.
Speaking of quick, tips.
Tips there in the last. I'm going to go with this horse here, which is King Lotus. You get the perfect run, 3 back. Keen Molly, a Nezza up and trip, and another Zonda, the likely leader, 6, 3, 11 and 4.
Yeah, I think he's got a nice chance in this King Lotus, and he can certainly take the step up in trip. Keen Molly in for second. I put Mighty Steed in, and Nezza goes in, 6, 3, 10, 11.
Popular King Lotus for both the boys in the last at Happy Valley. It's time, Paul, for your best, your value and your play.
Yeah, one we've talked about already, Colourful King. I think he's going to get the race run to suit. He's drawn 12, he'll get back, he'll be running on strongly. And Brave Star, downgraded back to Happy Valley's the key ingredients for him. And as far as the play, we'll do it in that last race with Keen Molly, King Lotus and Nezza.
Yeah, best bet for me on Sunday. I've gone with race 8, number 8, Dancing Classics for David Probert and Casper Founds. I think he's got a decent chance there. And the value, race 3, number 12, Sterling Wong Choi. Richard King's come on board for Douglas White with the lightweight. And the play, we're going to go race 7, numbers 2, 3 and 10.
The best bets is a race 4, number 11, Day Victory. Heavily back last time, run on strongly. Better draw, stays at 1,000 metres. Nezza, race 10, number 11, the value, and was a good trial from the horse. Gets a nice draw for Andrea Atzani. And the play, race 4, a QQP 1, 3 and 11 over the 1,000 metres. The diary, Nick, is appearing on screen. We've got some feature racing coming, notably at Shantin on Sunday week.
We certainly have, yeah. The Group 3 ladies' purse there, Paul.
Always a good one. Woman in their finery. We look forward to seeing that.
We do. We look forward to being Happy Valley on Sunday. It's always great to be out there in the daytime. Big thanks to Nick. Big thanks to Paul. Big thanks to you also. That has been Racing to Win. It's been a show that has been bursting at the seams, but we got there and we'll get there to Happy Valley on Sunday with the first at 12:45.